Hey there, everyone. My name's Shane Bevan. I'm a lecturer during the day and make art mostly in the evenings and weekends. It's been pretty crazy at work at the moment. Those of you who are teachers know how crazy it has been. So I thought I might just show some of my artwork and do a little bit of a breakdown of each piece in the evenings to just build up a little bit of a breakdown of some of my work. So hopefully you enjoy this little step behind the scenes of this piece. So this is a little mimic. One of my favourite monsters from D&D is the mimic. They crazy little characters that basically pretend to be furniture, and then spring traps on unwary adventurers. I think I've always loved them because I just love the idea that this thing is in mid transformation between being a chest and being a little monster. So I think I might do a couple more of these. I'd love to do a book version, and I'd also love to do some kind of table or really ordinary piece of furniture. So this little guy here is made mostly out of something called Epoxy Sculpt. I'll just quickly chuck some Epoxy Sculpt up here. So Epoxy Sculpt is a two-part epoxy, basically two pieces or two different clays that you mix together, and then you have about 3 hours worth of time to work on it. The clay cures slowly but surely until it becomes rock hard. I work mostly in polymer clay, but in this case I wanted something that had a little bit more strength. So even though there's some polymer clay parts in this Super Sculpey, most of it is actually Epoxy Sculpt. I'm going to give you a look behind the curtain here because I haven't done a base on this yet. So this is actually just sculpted over the top of a wooden box. Initially I was going to try and make something that was a little bit more like a normal chest as far as the base box went, but in the end I just wanted to have a bit more fun with a really deformed kind of character, and so I ended up making something that was more of a kind of a secret chest. This is a dice box and has enough room in it for a few dice. I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. Okay, so let's have a quick little tour of this little character. So obviously he's not exactly the friendliest looking little guy. When I posted him online initially, I got a lot of people saying that they thought it was the luggage from Terry Pratchett's books, and I can see where they're coming from, but no, it was definitely based on a mimic. Kind of a weird choice around the back here. I used EVA foam, to make these hinges because I wanted something that was really quite flexible. So they're not solid hinges. I wanted something that had a bit of play in it. Whatever, has a really nasty set of eyes and teeth. I've used a lot of beads for the eyes and made sure that I did some deep red in the sockets as well to really make them glow. The teeth, lots of gloss on there to make sure that they look like there's a bit of drool happening, and I'm still tossing up whether I actually want to add some drool coming off the teeth as well. I'll make that decision eventually. As I said, I wanted to get it in mid-transformation, and so that's exactly what I did. If I open it up, you'll be able to see that, first of all, there's some nasty stuff going up and up in the, I guess we'll call that the skull. And then there's some lovely treasure. You can probably hear those dice rolling around inside. An unfortunate adventurer's hand, someone who didn't get out in time. And then just a whole bunch of little chains and gemstones and things like that. The tongue's pretty nasty too. So how does this work? Well, I said I wanted to make kind of like a secret compartment. So the way this works is that I can pull this back here and we can fill it full of dice. And you can probably see there's some pretty nasty guts going on in there. Believe it or not, that is mostly just tin foil. To get that kind of nastiness that's then painted and then glossed over as well. So there's enough room in there for a couple of sets of dice actually. And yeah, they're being slowly digested over time. So the little treasure part, once again, just slips back in, and we're all hidden away again. The paint job on this guy is acrylic paints, and a little bit of rub and buff to get that kind of feel that there's some metal involved. It's a pretty messy paint job because I wanted to get that feeling that it was kind of in transformation. So hopefully that's been a success. It's pretty sturdy. The EVA hinges mean that you can kind of mess it around a little bit without it kind of snapping off. I didn't want to do really solid hinges because I wanted it to have a little bit of play. I don't think it would last forever, but it's certainly nice to have on the shelf. So there you go. First little step behind the curtain of some of my work. This is the Mimic, once again, epoxy sculpt. Which is awesome if you want to sculpt under pressure, because once you've mixed that stuff, you've got 3 hours, and then it's rock hard. A little wooden box. It's actually from the reject shop with it was just a chalk box or something, so it just had the little wooden top that slides open. A whole bunch of beads and a whole bunch of acrylic paint. So that's it. I'm going to do a little series of these quick little chats. Hope you've enjoyed this, and thanks very much. Bye.